there and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. State Minister for Works and Transport, Musa Echweru, has assured the public, especially those using Mitiana Mubende Road, that rehabilitation of the road's collapsed part around Buyala will be done by the end of tomorrow. Echweru was inspecting the ongoing works in the area plus other spots that needed intervention along Mitiana Mubende Fort Portal Road.
We are here in Buyala on Mitiana Road. This is a section. We regret the inconvenience that it has caused to the traveling public. We also regret really the challenge it presented to everybody, including some of our leaders who passed here in the last few days. But I'm very happy with the engineering team that has been able to move here very fast to ensure that the integrity of that part that had failed is restored immediately. They started working on this place the day before yesterday. By yesterday, they had done quite a credible, some very reasonable amount of work has been done, and they will have made the place motorable. The place will, the traveling public will be alerted to continue while we are now just doing final touches. Mine is to come to let the public know that this is not really so much because of our mistake, but it's because of some challenges that befell the ministry that led to a breakdown of this persistent maintenance routine work. So because we didn't do the maintenance in time, because of lack of resources, now I'm happy that resources have been mobilized, not just to do this part, but also to start working seriously on Mitiana Mubende. I'm very sure in the next few days, the engineer there will have come back on the ground to start doing the work. So we regret the inconvenience it has caused to the traveling public, but we want to assure the traveling public that we are determined to make this very critical artery of Uganda, that is Kampala, Mitiana Mubende, Fort Portal, and Fort Portal Bundubujo, to remain alive. We shall not allow the road to deteriorate beyond this. Uganda, that is Kampala, Mitiana Mubende, Fort Portal, and Fort Portal Bundubujo, to remain alive. We shall not allow the road to deteriorate beyond this. We're going to work. Even now, we are going to proceed all the way up to Fort Portal. Then we'll assess the one from Fort Portal, the connection from Fort Portal to Bundubujo, to ensure that even that one where there are some challenges, the challenges will be addressed as quickly as possible.
Following reports of rampant absenteeism and dropout among girl child in schools due to poor menstrual management, the Latter-day Saints Church has constructed toilet facilities for schools in Entebbe municipality. Toilet facilities at St. Joseph's Katabi, Nachwogo and Chigungu primary schools were commissioned by the area RDC Hakim Chirigwa, who called on the beneficiaries to guard the facilities jealously.
Make sure that we boost, we make the environment friendly for the learners. As you are aware, such facilities, if they are not adequate, can affect the learning of the children, also the girls. What we are commissioning today involves very many qualities where a girl child can enjoy, where he can expose his parts and so on and so forth. As you are aware, the President of Uganda has given free education to everybody. And if such services are in place, this enables the message of the President to be real. This school has something like 700 students, pupils, and this means we need a lot of such facilities to enable them to study. As government, we are committed to support the schools and to support the partners who are giving us support. Because why this support, sir? We enjoy the peace of the president, and we are here to make sure that the facility are handed over in good condition, and also to make sure that we maintain them.
There has been need for the toilets, the existing toilets, in comparison with the number of children enrolled in the school would not be adequate. So for this reason, we added additional latrines with the water, wash-and points, and they are easy to maintain, and it is at an affordable cost. Especially for the girl children, it's been reported that the girls drop out of school due to hygiene reasons. The toilets handed over today has a provision for an incinerator where they can dispose of the disposable pads, and they have also been taught how to make the pads on their own and share the knowledge with others.
As we break off for Term 1 2025, we are happy to announce that we have gotten 5 stands toilets for the boys. These are line toilets, and then 5 for the girls. And the one of the girls has a washroom inclusive. It has an incinerator where our girls have been getting a challenge of where to change from. These girls have been staying home. At least they miss school for 4 days during their menstrual period. So they are kept in school now with the presence of this washroom. We provide them with soap, we give them water.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has 2 subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Still watching UBC Lunchtime News. In more stories, residents in slum areas of Namugongo, Kasamvu Machindia Division have appealed to KCCA and other relevant authorities to come to their rescue over the garbage heaps and poor drainage in the area. Led by Machindia East NRM Member of Parliament aspirant Judith Abaho Nwabine, the residents presented their grievances to the NRM team, thorough leader, also presidential advisor on poverty and development, Pastor Robert Mbabazi.
yaleeta lipooti mu ofiisi yaffe eyogerako ebisirimoozo by'emusanvu abantu bamakinde isi naddala wano wetuli enamu naye lipooti bwetuukako kubanga egenda wa pulezidenti nga tulina okujja ku gulawundi tulina okujja tukwatagane n'omuntu owa wansi atubuulire ddala ebiri ku gulawundi okusinzira ku byali lipooti era bwe tumaze okulaba emyala kasasiro n'ebirala ne tugamba katujje ne mumwe abasuubuzi sanze era n'okubasaba nti ku mulundi guno leka tulonde abakulembeze abanaakolegana ne pulezidenti Museveni.
Ekitegeeza bwe mbasaba okuyita mu maaso ate ne nfite emmandu tewali ngeri n'emu gye tusobola okubeera awo nga tetulina saavisi ze twetaaga wano mu Makindye disitulikiti. Neeyanziza neeyanzeege n'abasajja Kabaka awangaale.
Ebizibu bye tulina mu kitundu kyaffe kasasiro atuli bubi, obwavu mu bavubuka bali bubi, ekirala emyala gitutwalaganya, so embeera ye gye tulimu.
Kasasiro kuyingiramu Kiteebi bwe yafuna obuzibu paka leero kati tetulina buyambi bwonna ku kitundu kye ate nga bwe mmanyi nti ebitundu bino bya Migoteko abantu bangi.
As Christians celebrate Easter festivities, a certain percentage chooses to travel to their ancestral homes away from the city. With these travels comes transport fare increments to passengers for certain transport companies. Take a look.
By press time at Namaiba Park, passengers traveling to northern and eastern parts of Uganda were making their travel payments to their respective bus companies. Mr. Vigilio Okumu, who is the manager at Kakise Bus Company, and Gerald Oyet, who manages Mega Bus Company, say they didn't increase transport fares for their clients.
Since Easter season, we have not seen any turn up because the passenger, as you also see in the environment, there's no passenger. But the fare we are charging still the same fare because of failing of turn up. The turn up is very low. Last year was better because last year the turn up was good. Last year we even increased to 35. But this year, even if you go to my books, it is only 25, 30.
But these ones we have had now, we have not hiked our prices. We are still maintaining the price as 35,000, that's from Kampala to Gulu, and 45,000 from Kampala to Kitgum.
However, other transport companies have decided to slightly increase transport fares during this Easter season and attribute it to high passenger turn-up.
On
normal days, passengers pay 25,000 Uganda shillings, but we have decided to increase by 10,000 to make it 35,000 Ugandan shillings.
With only one day left to Easter Sunday celebrations, bus companies that have decided to increase their fares have done so by a difference of 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Marion Awori and Kenneth Tanaba for UBC.
In Wabinyonyi village, Nakasongola district, change is taking shape. Julius Matovu, once a small farmer, is now a thriving poultry entrepreneur thanks to just 1 million shillings from the Emuga program. And as we hear in the following report, Julius Matovu's story is a shining example of how small investments, when well managed, can spark lasting change. Take a look.
Julius Matovu, a 35-year-old father of 4 from Wabinyonyi village in Nakasongola district, is turning heads with his inspiring transformation thanks to the Myoga program. A senior 4 graduate and dedicated farmer, Matovu received 1 million shillings from the Wabigalo Catering Group under the Nakasongola restaurant Myoga Sacco and used it to launch a poultry project that is now changing his life.
Myoga is a very good money. So far for me, I've benefited because I've managed to build this worker's house and I didn't have a house. But as per now, I have at least a very bigger house of 4 rooms, which I've got from Myoga Circle. And also my children are at school.
Starting with just 50 birds, Matovu has grown his poultry farm to over 400 chickens. He constructed a proper shelter for the birds, practices smart record keeping, and uses manure to boost crop yields on his farm.
I usually write my records. It can help me to know the exact period when this chicken has got sick and how they can get cured.
His efforts have not only increased his income, but also created employment for several unemployed youth in his village. With a clear goal in mind, he's now targeting 1 million shillings in profit from his poultry project. According to Christine Erumbi, the Nakasongola District Commercial Officer, Matovu's venture is among the sustainable small-scale enterprises under a Myoga initiative.
A Myoga program has impacted positively in so many ways. First of all, economically. It has improved on people's economic status.
During the second joint annual general meeting of 30 Myoga circles in the constituency of Budiembo and Nakasongola, Area Woman Member of Parliament Proscovia Zawede applauded the program's impact and praised the Microfinance Support Center for effectively distributing funds.
I want to thank the government of Uganda, which thought it wisely and helped the grassroots people. We have had different testimonies from different people, of the catering, the taxi drivers and others, giving testimonies about Myoga and showing the success, how successful they have moved within this program.
Nakasongola Resident District Commissioner Festus Bandeba called for greater transparency and encouraged circles to grow their membership, save more and invest wisely.
So I wish to advise all our people who received this money to make sure that they diligently use it and return it so that they, number one, they can get more, number two, others can also benefit, so that we complete the cycle of empowerment to all our people.
Other Myoga beneficiaries, including market vendors, taxi drivers, restaurant owners, and persons with disabilities, are also seeing steady economic progress. Marion Awori and Robert Waiter for UBC.
Come on, mo pocket, tambula body street, shoes are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission, internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo karoni, niga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Mikulu Business Expo kumi pirabiri mwetano ine komyewo wakati wena mwezi mwenda paka 11 Mei Lugugu Uma Showgrounds event service providers naba business endala zonna mwandu bademwa yuna Mikulu Business Expo kumi pirabiri mwetano emidala jiri kumitwalo nkaga ino bronze mitwalo chinana ku silver ate gold yakakadde kalamba kogata platinum yakamuchi tundu okuyingira Mikulu Business Expo kumi pirabiri mwetano kwa 15 zokka kati wasasula omudala obosasulide ekifo tenti emeza entebe bbiri kogata amasanyalaze ne security okumanya ebisingawo kuba 0701 mukaga 20 292 oba 0776 mukaga 20 292 biteddwa mu sente Photogenics Limited, Lean Events, Crane Performers, Shabasa Pharma, BBS Telefina, UBC, Rosie Roots, City Bridals, Joyce Sonko Textiles, Channel Ladies Choice, Njuvu Estates, Junico Rio Deco, Victory Travel Center, Tender Gardens, Eco Farm Pharmacy, Mikolo Magazine, ne Pepsi.
Amazina ganje ninye tekwa Seruhanga John Bosco
Induga mu district ya Rukungiri ndio muhanguzi wa miliyoni 16 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 ash ngafuna message eriko ndio muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri y'abafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka nko nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
From the international desk, at least 74 people were killed and 171 injured in U.S. airstrikes on Yemen's Ras Issa oil terminal, according to the Houthi-run Health Ministry. The terminal, located on the Red Sea coast, is controlled by the Iran-backed Houthi movement. And the U.S. military said that the strikes targeted fuel supplies and revenue used by the Houthi forces. However, the Houthi-led government condemned the attack as a war crime, claiming the terminal was a civilian facility.
A U.S. airstrike targeted a oil port in Yemen held by its Houthi rebels. This is the most serious and deadliest attack publicly known in this month-long campaign waged by the Trump administration against the group. This attack targeted the Ras Issa port in Hadida. It saw basically massive plumes of fire and smoke rise from the site early in the morning. It destroyed fuel tankers lined up there, and rebel-controlled television aired just gruesome photos of those killed in the attack. Satellite images analyzed by the Associated Press afterwards show oil tanks destroyed, vehicles destroyed, and crude oil apparently leaking into the Red Sea. Now, the U.S. military has acknowledged this attack. They say they targeted the facility to stop the flow of oil and fuel products into Yemen to squeeze the Houthi rebels. The rebels themselves have called this a major crime against them and have threatened retaliation. All this comes as the United States is now negotiating with the Houthis' main benefactor, Iran, over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program.
President Donald Trump has warned that the U.S. may take a pass on mediating Russia-Ukraine peace talks if progress isn't made soon. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump stressed urgency by admitted that there's no firm timeline. Secretary of State Marco Rubio echoed the sentiment, saying that the U.S. won't stay involved for weeks and months without clear signs of progress.
Friends and family. If for some reason one of the two parties makes it very difficult, we're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass. But hopefully we won't have to do that. Now, Marco's right in saying it. We want to see it end. This because I think they're going to come up with things that are incredible, but probably the biggest reason. And I think I see that enthusiasm. I think I see it from both sides.
Do you think Russia's
But you're
playing
going to
you?
know soon.
Do you think Russia's playing you?
No, nobody's playing me. I'm trying to help. You know, this was Biden's war. By the way, by me getting involved, you know, they'll say, oh, Trump. This is not Trump's war. This is Biden. This is a war that should have never happened. I'm sure he knows what the hell he was doing. But what his people did, we are going to see if we can get it done. I think we have a really good chance of getting it done. And it's coming to a head right now.
I think it's important to remind everybody that the Ukraine war is a terrible thing, but it's not our war. We didn't start it.
The United States is issuing a stern warning to Ukraine. Move quickly toward a peace deal with Russia, or the U.S. will withdraw from mediating the conflict. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says a decision is imminent as President Trump grows frustrated with the stalled talks.
I'm talking about a matter of days, not a matter of weeks, whether or not this is a war that can be ended. So we need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about a matter of days, whether or not this is doable over the next few weeks. If it is, we're in. If it's not, then we have other priorities to focus on.
Rubio emphasized that the Ukraine war
is not America's fight, signaling the US will not mediate indefinitely. In Paris, he presented a peace framework to Ukrainian and European officials, but warned that without progress, the US is prepared to walk away.
It's not our war. We didn't start it. The United States has been helping Ukraine over the last 3 years, and we want it to end. If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky remains defiant, rejecting any discussion of territorial concessions until a ceasefire is secured. In Kyiv, he drew a firm red line, vowing never to recognize occupied Ukrainian lands as
Buza Commissioner, enhancing tax education and bringing it closer to the taxpayers. Many Ugandans have questions about the taxes they pay to URA.
When we come at revenue, they tell us to clear Chitenge at 10,000. And when we are selling Chitenge, we sell it at 17. So we don't know whether we are working or not.
Understanding your tax obligations can help you grow your business and avoid unnecessary losses. Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Welcome to the Sports Stories. Vipers SC just had a deserved 3-1 victory over title rivals NEC FC in a thrilling Uganda Premier League encounter held on Thursday night at St. Mary's Stadium in Chitende. First half goals from Hilary Mukundani, Alan Okello and Isaac Ogwang ensured the Venoms collected maximum points in the title pursuit. Paul Mukchurezi scored a late penalty for NEC, but it only served as a consolation for Hussein Mbalango's side. The result lifts Vipers to 56 points, 5 ahead of NEC with 6 games remaining in the campaign.
Very well in Lira with Destiny. Soccer Academy, Alan Okello swings one well. A shot for the header, yes, it's in! Ho ho! Hilary Mukundane scoring his very first goal in the Star Times Uganda Premier League. He's Hilary, the boy from Bar, the prince from Lango. 16 goals in the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Alan Okello, the brew that is needed.
And that's all we had for you this afternoon. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely afternoon.